What's going on, YouTube? Your boy D Broussard back with another one. So today it's a follow-up video from the last video I just did when the taillights on the my cousin Bourbon didn't fit. So he said instead of like getting some new ones, he just want me to tint the ones that's on there, and we'll see how that works. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that taken care of today. So get back to you after this lit intro. So first thing I'm gonna do is remove the tail lights. You guys see me do this. Let you guys take a look. So the first thing I'm gonna do is remove the tail lights, and same just like the follow-up video. It's just these two screws come out on each side. Light pops right out. Pretty simple to take out. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with that part of the video. That's pretty self-explanatory, straightforward. So anyway, we're gonna get these popped out, and then we're gonna start processing them. Be right back in a sec. All right, for those of you that want to see this part, I'm just going to record it anyway. I already took the unloosened the two screws on the inside just to show you how easy it pops out. After that, I just work with it a little bit. It just pops out just like that. So, and then you just unloosen these, and it just comes right out. Doing this with one hand, so let's see. Let's turn these and they pop out. Let's see. Yep. Pretty straightforward, simple. So anyway, that's how you do it. You just turn these, they come out, and that's about it. All right, simple. All right, be back in a sec. All right, so this is what I'm going to use to prep and also tint the tail light. So what I use is Palmolive. Just get you some kind of soap, so you can just clean them. Some people do the wet sand. They take that route. I'm not going to do a wet sand on this. I'm just going to clean them up real good. And then afterwards, once they're dry, use some rubbing alcohol to get all the little dust, debris. If there's any grease or anything on them, you want to get it super clean. So I use that afterwards. And then we're pretty much ready to paint. And so I'm going to be painting my garage because I don't want like any wind blowing or whatnot, and this is more of a controlled environment being in here. So anyway, and I'll start with the Rust-Oleum tint spray. This works for me. I use the this same tint spray to tint the taillights on the Panther. So, and it turned out really well. So put a couple of coats on there. I'll start with one and just see how it is. You want to always just kind of monitor your sprays, because once you put one on there, just let it dry, because sometimes it come out really like glossy looking and it doesn't look dark, but then once it dries, it's going to darken up on you. So just pay attention to that when you're tinting. So I'm gonna put the first coat on there, let it dry for about 10 or 15 minutes, something like that, and then monitor it, check it out, see how dark it is, because he wants like a not too much of a limo or dark tint. He wants that kind of like a, what was it, I believe like a 35%, something like that. You want to go with that, not all smoked out. Anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing. So after the first one, like I said, I'm going to monitor and see how dark it is. I probably just go like 2 coats. I believe that's the look he's looking for. So, all right, let's get started. Let's get it. All right, so I'm about to get these cleaned up. Like I said before, some people use wet sand, but I just clean them this way. And again, it's whatever you feel works for you. You don't have to do it a certain kind of way because one person recommends and said this is the only way it should be done. Do what's best for you, what works for you. So I'm doing it this way with a little soap and water. cleaned up. Then you move on to the next step. You want to get them dry. Then you move on to the next step of using that rub and alcohol on them. So be back in a second. Let me get this cleaned up. And be back in a second to start the next step. Alrighty, so we're on to the next step. I'm just showing you guys the steps. I know I'm not going to bore you too much with this, but the next step I'm going to do is use this rubbing alcohol to clean them. So get you a clean towel or rag, whatever you want to use. And put some on that towel. Go ahead and wipe them down. Keep them super clean. As you can see, I'm holding it from underneath so I don't put any of my fingerprints on it or oil, whatever I have on my fingers. So I'm holding it from underneath so I'm not touching it to make sure I get it super clean. Once you get that off, you're pretty much ready to go on to the next step and start tinting. Once you get everything cleaned up, super clean. Ready to start the next step. I'll let these go ahead and dry up. Probably wipe them down one more time, and then we'll start the next process. We'll start the tinting process. Be back in a sec. All right, so everything's prepped and ready for paint. I left my tint sitting out in the sun for a little bit so it can get warm. It'll be easier for the tint to come out, to flow, if you will. You don't want it to be cold because it may be a little bit caked up. So it's nice and warm, and we're about ready to start tinting. So let's put on the first coat. Let's see how this looks. Wait. 1 second. And before you start spraying, you want to already have your motion going. So you're just not, you start spraying and it's going to create this like already running if you just start spraying and you're not in motion, and it's just going to start to run. So you want to, I'm just going to do one at a time. Move that one over. Put one coat on this one. See how that looks. All right, so this is the first coat. Some motion like that. All right, real simple. We're gonna let that dry. And once it dries, it should be darker, a little bit darker than that. I may just do one more coat. I can see that already though. You can see the difference. Let me show you. Put this up beside it. You can already see a difference. So I'll go a little bit, maybe one more. Let's just see how it looks when it dry. Because like I said before, in the earlier part of this video, like when you spray it on there, it's gonna look like this at first, real shiny. But as you can see, it's starting to get a little bit darker, but we'll see how it looks after it dries up a little bit more. But that's the difference. You see it already. All right, let me let that dry. I'll be back in a sec. All right, I'm back. I'm going to go grab me something to eat real quick while I was waiting on these to dry. So let's take a look at them. Or you can see it got much darker. Not much darker, but noticeably darker. I don't know if that's what you want to go with. Let me have him take a look at it. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe go one more. But I'll have him take a look at it first because it's his truck. So he don't want it too dark like my Panther, as you can see, blacked out. Yeah, buddy. So I don't know if he wants his that dark. Let me have him take a look at it. But just wanted to show you guys first what it looks like actually when it dries. So yeah, you can see a difference. Anyway, let me have him take a look at it, Be back in a sec. All right, so he just checked it out and he wanted to be a little bit more darker. So I'm about to do one more and probably do 3 on this one. I was thinking maybe 2, but he did say he wanted to be a little bit lighter than the Panther. So he wants it a little bit darker. So let's put this second coat on. All right, and remember, you always want to just kind of spread over in this area first, and you want to continue. You don't want to be in one spot and do it, because that's going to start running if you do. All right, let's put the second coat on. Here we go. All right. Let that dry and see how it looks. Let me grab this other one. You can already see. Just put it right there for comparison. Yeah, buddy. So I'll probably end up doing like one more. Let this dry and see how it looks, and then we'll go from there. All right, be back in a sec. All right, so this is how it looks after the second coat dries. Got a little bit darker. It always does, just have to spray it and wait. Once it dries, it's gonna be noticeably darker. And again, this is just an example of, you know, the before and after. I want you to see that different effect. So I think I'm gonna do one more, and that'll be it. Yeah, one more should make it a little bit more darker. Because he wants it to be not as dark as the Panther tail light, but yeah, noticeably darker. And this is starting to be noticeably darker right now. So, all right, I'll do one more, and you guys know how I do it, how I spray it. So I don't want to keep boring you guys with that. It's the same process. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put one more, and then I'll let you guys see what it looks like afterwards. All right, be back in a second. All right, so got it done finally. I'll let you guys check it out and see how it looks. I think it turned out well. So without further ado, let's get to it. That's with the lights on. Brake lights. It's stepping on the brake lights. So you can see it's not too dark. Yeah, I think that turned out really, really good. I have him turn it off so you can see what it looks like with the lights on. Turn it off. Turn it off. Check him out. So I think it turned out really well. I'll let you guys be the judge of that, but it's all good. So this truck is coming together. Do a quick little walk around. These headlights, I put these in last week. These turned out well, along with this carbon fiber bow tie. This truck is coming together. Got a few little things he gonna get taken care of that's coming. But yeah, this turned out to be pretty dope. Get out the street before I get hit. Anyway, your boy D. Broussard signing out.